Alright, so this video is going to go over this person inheritance program I'm going to create. And so I'll kind of draw out, I'm going to have a person superclass. Okay, and that person's going to have some string attributes, including name, ID, gender, and then it will have an int age. Okay. Then from it, what we'll do is we will create a student, and student will inherit all the properties from person. So our student will have, let's see here, a student will then have a couple string attributes, one being the school and the grade level. Okay, and then from there we'll create an international student. Okay. Alright, and the international student will then just have a country attribute. So the student will inherit all this stuff into here, and the international student will inherit everything from person and student. Now we don't jump 2 levels, so maybe I'll erase that. This will have everything in here, and then everything in there through student will be inherited in. Okay, you don't. There's not multi-level inheritance. You just inherit from the class above. Okay, so and it's really kind of inherited down. That's better to draw that with. Now let me think here. Person. I think here person will also have a let me think, a display. So here's a method display that will get inherited in, and person will also have a birthday, so you can increase the age. So those will also be in person. Okay, so then student, any specific methods? No. And international student won't have any either. They'll just, all these will be inherited down. Okay, and we'll have constructors though, and I'll show you how we're going to do that. Excuse me. Alright, so let me close this. And what I did was I created my main, and I called it person driver. The driver program might be a good name to call these things, because main is where all your code is kind of being driven from. So, alright, so we'll just do right click here, we'll say add class, and we'll call the class person. We'll say okay. So the person, we will include a string, and we'll have private instance variables and public methods. Okay, so our private variables are going to be, I'm going to call my name, my ID, and my gender, and then we'll have an int my age. Okay, and then we're going to have a person. We're passing the name, the ID, gender, and age. We'll do a void on birthday and a void on display. And so once we get our person CPP file created, these will all go away. So give me a second on these. For person, okay, we do that. Then I want to do a what do I want to do? I'm going to do another string here to include the string, and I'm going to do IOStream because we're going to do cout statements, so using namespace. Okay, so then we'll have our person constructor that will accept these in. Okay. And we'll do what my name equals name, my ID equals ID, my gender equals gender, and my age equals age. Okay. It should be good. Let's keep going here. What's going on? Let me make sure. There, that went away. This will go away here in a minute. Let me just keep kind of plugging along. We'll say void person birthday. And what we'll do is we'll say my age plus plus, so if they get a birthday, their age will go up by a year. And we'll say void person display. And we'll do a cout on name. Say my name. Okay, so security number, gender. And age. Okay. All right. Alright, let's create one here real quick. So we'll say person Joe, and his name is Joe. He has a social security number 555-55- okay. It's male. And let's say he's a senior in college. Okay. So we'll say Joe.birthday. That would add a year to him, and we'll say Joe.display. Now I also need to include the header. So let me see here. Let's include this header in here. Okay, so that should display. Did I spell that wrong? Display. Alright, that went away. Let's run this now and see if this works. Okay. Okay, so alright, so see here if this fixes it. String name. Oh, what's wrong? Cannot convert argument 4 from constants. 1, 2, 3, 4. Person 1, 2, 3, 4. 4. Alright, let me just keep working on here. I'll come back to this. So we'll do another one here. We'll say new class. We'll call it student. And student age. So student will also do include that. And this is where our inheritance comes in. So we'll say public person. So we'll inherit everything from person. Okay. So we'll have our private instance variables, and we'll say string my school and my grade level. And we'll say we'll have our public student constructor, and we'll inherit everything in, but watch what we're going to do here. We'll take everything from here, put it into student, and then we'll do a string school and a string grade level, and then we'll do our own display right here that will overwrite the what's it called, the display right here. Alright, so there's that. So we got this. We'll do string do using namespace std. Then we'll do, okay, so student, and we'll do person down here. So student will, so this is where this kind of starts looking a little bit weird. So we'll do everything from person. Okay. Then we'll add in the string school and string grade level. Okay. But then we just have to do just the information from person. So it'd be what? Name, ID, gender, and age. And what this is saying is that the name, ID, gender, and age get inherited from this person class. Okay? And then all we have to do is say my school equals school and my grade level equals grade level. Okay? Because these are specific to the student class. Okay? So that should, so now what we'll do is we'll write the driver for this. So the first thing we got to do is we got to include the what? Student.h file. Okay, so we'll say student, I don't know, Jane. Let's do this real quick. Cout and L. Okay. Alright, there's that. And we'll say our student name is Jane. Her student or her social security number is, she'll be a female. So there's female, and we'll say she is a wait, I screwed this up above. That's why there's an error. So we got I saw that now. So name, ID, gender, age. Joe is not a senior. His age needs to be, see how I need to line that up? So name, ID, gender, age. Name, ID, gender. We'll say she is 25 and her school is Harvard. And what, you know, she is a, let's say she's a senior. And we can do the same thing for Jane. We can display all this stuff, and I'll show you how we inherit the information in. So we'll say Jane. Alright, this should actually, let's see if this works. Should be fine. Error list. Resolved external. Oh, wait. We gotta get the display in here. Because right now it doesn't know which one to display, so we'll get this student to display. So the student will overwrite the person display. So we'll say void student display, and we'll say person display, because we want to display all the stuff from person, but then we want to add our own display information for this. So we'll say cout, and we'll go school, and we'll say my school, and we'll say cout grade, my grade level, and L. Alright, so let's try this now. Hopefully there won't be more errors here. Person, student. Okay, so we got Joe, his social security number, his age. Now we got Jane that displays all this stuff because it's inherited in through display, but then we add what's specific about the student, and that she's a Harvard student and a senior. So those two things, you know, got displayed right here. So when this runs, it calls the display in here because Jane is a student, and then in here we call the person display, which calls this right here and prints that up. Okay, now since birthday is inherited in from person, Jane can also call birthday, and it says she's 25, but we add one, she's 26, okay? So we don't have to write the birthday, we only have to write the birthday method once right here, and it gets inherited in here without it even knowing about it. And that's where, you know, the stuff right here, what I'm doing with student and then person, and then you know, right here where student inherits everything from person. Okay, so now we'll create a final one, and we'll call it an international student, and the only difference will be the international student will have a country. Okay, alright, so our international student, and I'm just going to write the main real quick here. The international student will also have what? Include InternationalStudent.h. Include. Yeah. Alright, so then we can kind of do the same thing. Right there. We'll call it international student, and the international student will be Jill. Her name, I don't know. Female, we'll say 22. She goes to CU Boulder, and she is a junior. And let's say she's from Spain. Okay, so there's going to be errors on this, no problem, because we haven't really created it yet. I just wanted to put that out there. So now, international student. Alright, .h will have what? Hey. You want to include now the student.h file. Okay, because we're going to inherit, so with this one, you inherit from person, and if you go back and look at the flowchart I had, the international student's going to inherit from student, so you want to put that in there. So you'd say public student right there for your inheritance. And the only thing private that the international student's going to know is the string my country, and it will also have a public constructor called international student, and it will get everything from the student, and we will add in this string country in here, and it will also have a display, its own display that will inherit from the student display. Okay, so let's see here. Let's type in include what IO stream. Okay. Okay. We'll have everything that's in here. And a country. Student. Okay, lining those up. So the student, let me see here. Will have what? And then it will have the school and the grade level. Okay. And then inside here, what would it be? My grade level equals grade level. And then we got our void display. We got our enter. International student. Display. And then we'll just do student display and see out the country. Okay. It's not my grade, it's country. Why did I do that? My country equals country. Alright, yep. We'll display everything from student and then add in this country. I think this will work now. Let's see. Got an error. Alright, so Jill, we said she was 22, right? But we gave her a birthday, so she's 23. It inherits basically, so this is everything from the student, and this is everything from the person, okay? And so the only thing it knew that it adds is the country, is Spain. And you saw how I had, multiple errors in here. This does start to get complicated with all the different files and what's going on. And so, I do not have the most experience creating all these different classes because I haven't been programming in this for like as long as I have in Java. And to be honest, I feel like Java and Python are so much easier than this, but I don't know. I think this does kind of a good job showing multiple inheritance, showing how, methods get overridden, and, just how the inheritance structure works. I don't believe the book goes into any of this for this Intro to C++ course, but I figure this is kind of a good way to show you how this works to end of the semester. So if you go into more advanced C++ class, you'll see you'll definitely be using classes in this. So anyway, this video is done.